Cyrus the Great is the founder of the Achaemenid Empire. He established the empire over 2,500 years ago. He's known to have instituted the first declarations of human rights in the world. Today, his tomb is in the vicinity of Shiraz, and that's one of the reasons Shiraz has been an important city for centuries.
Join me on a short tour of the ruins outside Shiraz, from the ancient cities of Pasargad to Persepolis. An hour drive from Shiraz lies Pasargad, an exceptional witness of the Achaemenid Empire, showcasing the earliest manifestations of Persian art. It was created by one of the most glorified of Persian kings, where he is also buried. The most prominent structure in Pasargad is the tomb of Cyrus the Great. But who was Cyrus the Great? He was the first Persian king to set up the first Persian dynasty 2,500 years ago. Cyrus is known to have valued the rights of people, and the Cyrus Standard is believed by archaeologists to be the oldest declaration of human rights. The empire he established is considered to be the first empire that respected the cultural diversity of its different peoples. This was also reflected in the Achaemenid architecture that was a synthetic representation of different cultures. Looking at this building and walking here is like walking in history. They say this building was like an old big prison in the past, or maybe a big tomb, but all that is left is this single wall. It's interesting, in the middle of the road, in the middle of this mountain, when you think there's nothing here, we have this artifact that dates back to about 200 to 300 AD. It's called the Naqsh-e-Rajab, or the hero's representation. It was its old name. But this makes you wonder, how many more of these lie in the mountains here? Just a few hundred meters away lies an ancient necropolis originally believed to be a depiction of a mythical hero Rostam, giving it the name Naqsh-e-Rostam. The necropolis is at a considerable height above the ground. Wow, look at this. This was built hundreds of years ago with tools unlike those we have today for 4 Persian kings. It's quite interesting. It's quite amazing. Darius the Great of the Achaemenid Empire was buried here. One inscription on his tomb reads, "It is not my desire that a man should do harm, nor it is my desire that he goes unpunished when he does harm." Every one of these carvings you look at has a story behind it. Let's say this one. This is the story of the Iranian king Hormuz winning a war in about 300 AD over the Greeks. The one with the bigger horse and the bigger spear and the bigger body is obviously the Persian king. And the one with the smaller one is on the ground is the Greek one. These were usually drawn after a victory in war. Okay, some buildings like this one, nobody knows what it was really for. For example, this one, some say it was a fire temple, but because it's sealed, others say that's not possible because air couldn't get in. The second theory is it was used for the mummy of a king, but others say because the steep stairway that is on the other side, that is not possible. And the third theory is it was maybe for a tomb, or a tomb never used. A site on the World Heritage List is the ancient ruins of Persepolis. It was founded by Darius I in 518 BC, where the King of Kings created an impressive palace complex inspired by Mesopotamian models for the capital of his empire. The importance and quality of the monumental ruins make it a unique archaeological site. This is one of the oldest historic sites of the world. and the oldest historic site of the Persian Empire that is left intact in Iran, the Persepolis. To enter the Persepolis, we must enter the gates. Let's go in.
According to UNESCO, this ensemble of majestic approaches, monumental stairways, throne rooms, reception rooms, and annex buildings is classified among the world's greatest archaeological sites, among those which have no equivalent and which bear witness of a unique quality to a most ancient civilization.
Again, around the walls of the Persepolis, every wall has a story to tell. For example, this one is a royal guard guarding the palace. And these were the elders of the tribes. And over here we're seeing different tribes bringing in souvenirs or gifts for the king. It was likely a celebration or a new year or something like that. You can see every single tribe is wearing a different attire and they're bringing in their own gifts.
The city was eventually burnt by Alexander the Great in 330. Historian Plutarch writes, its treasures were carried on 20,000 mules and 5,000 camels. You do the math. From Persepolis, I'm Pedro Dadi for the Iran program.